Advising means to me being there for your students, being the resource, being the person where the student can come to and turn to you for those hard questions. As a student back in the day myself, I know that things can get crazy and stressful, and it's nice to have someone you can trust and you can come and talk to about career decisions, class choices, and even changes in your major.
Advising means to me helping our students make their decisions, showing them some options, talking through them with what some of the outcomes of some of those options might be, but really helping our students come to some decisions on their own with what classes they would like to take, what opportunities they'd like to pursue here at Mizzou, both in the College of Business and outside the College of Business, what careers that they might be interested in. Asking our students that come here and say they want to study business, well, what is it about business that you enjoy or that you think you'd be interested in? How does that factor into what career goals that you have? And so really helping our students walk through and work through some of those choices and options that they're looking at.
Advising is an interactive partnership between the advisor, me, and the advisee, you. The purpose of that partnership is for me to help you identify your goals, make a game plan to help you achieve those goals, and then see to it that you have all the means and resources available to help you make it all happen.
Advising means a lot of things. As an advisor, I see myself as a front line for students, as a resource, and so that's probably one of the biggest things for me.
That it is a cooperation between the advisor and the student as far as a partnership to make sure that students are growing mentally as well as professionally and setting themselves up for success in the future.
Advising is basically, for me, it was something that kind of helped guide me through Mizzou, guide me through my academic progress and just through, getting through everything that Mizzou has to offer, because it's such a huge campus. We want to make it smaller for you guys, so we want you to know that you have someone here in the College of Business that can help you with anything on campus, and I think that's pretty strong.
Advising to me means really being there to not only provide my students with all the information they need to know, but really talking about your options so we can sit down and make the best decision possible for you. It's not about me dictating exactly what you need to take or what you need to do, but really helping you figure out what all your options are.
My favorite part of being an advisor is actually the total package. Getting to know my advisees, sharing their successes and their struggles, watching them grow and mature, and finally watching them cross the stage at graduation.
When students bring me candy. No, it's actually watching that growth process from when a student is an incoming freshman, like you're here today for summer welcome, and reflecting on that process when you guys are graduating. It's very sad for your parents to drop you off here to become a Tiger, but it's also very sad for our office to see guys graduate and go out into the working world.
My favorite part about being an advisor is working with the students. The variety of interests and activities that you guys are involved in, the variety of concerns that you have coming to me, and really then, just kind of helping see students grow during those 4 years that they're here in the college. It's amazing to see the change that students go from that first semester freshman year to the students that are getting ready to graduate and excited about the job opportunities that they have. So working with the students is by far my favorite part.
My favorite part is being able to interact with my students outside of the regular advising meetings. I think that's really just part of what endears me to my students, is being able to talk to them during those times, not so much when we're talking about classes, but just other things. I just really appreciate it, and it gives me better insight into your personality, who you are, and just being able to be able to relate to you better when we do have those advising appointments. So I just really appreciate that time outside of our regular appointments where we get a chance to just talk and just see how you're doing.
I think my favorite part about being an advisor is just getting to meet so many different students, and everybody has different personalities and different dynamics as far as who they are, but really being able to see students grow and change from their freshman year when you start out here through your senior year, because you really do change and grow as an individual, and then seeing those students go off through graduation, it's kind of bittersweet. Sad to see them go, but exciting to see the life that they're going to lead after they graduate, and just also hearing about all the fabulous things that they're doing once they graduate here from the Trulaske College of Business.
When I was an incoming freshman, the thing I remember is that, it was my whole family that helped me move in. I'm an only child, but it was my parents, it was my grandparents, my aunt and uncle, and some of my cousins helped me move in. And I'll never forget the day that we moved into my residence hall. My grandmother kind of marched me down to the front desk of the residence hall I was in, and we demanded a new mattress because my grandmother didn't think that the mattress was there in the room was good enough for me to sleep on that year. And so it was kind of embarrassing. And it was, people that I grew to know later on as friends and actually worked in that residence hall. But I was quite embarrassed by that, but it's one of the things that, looking back on, I don't think I'll ever forget my grandma marching down and demanding a new mattress for me. And I hated that mattress all year. It was uncomfortable and squeaky and noisy, but it was one I guess my grandma thought I needed.
I remember walking with my Fig to Tiger Walk, and nerves were abounding. I thought, how many times am I going to really get lost on this campus? What was exciting is walking through the columns, the nerves shifted to excitement. And I realized that Mizzou would soon become second nature.
One of my favorite memories as an incoming freshman was that summer welcome part when I came in. I had met about 5 or 6 people that actually lived on my floor that I was going to live at when I got to Mizzou. So I already knew these people. Me and my parents kind of split up, so I was on my own. And then we got to go to see our advisors and then review. If you guys haven't seen review yet, it's really a cool thing. So they do a good job of getting you used to Mizzou, and it just makes you feel like you're part of Mizzou, though.
One of my favorite memories of being a freshman was probably the weekend before classes started. I remember how fun it was to move into the residence hall, to meet so many new people. And finally, I remember how it felt when my parents left, and I was so proud and felt like I had such an accomplishment. I was officially a college student.
I can always remember as an incoming freshman being extremely nervous to meet my first roommate. However, at the time I didn't know that I was actually having the chance to meet one of my future best friends. And so that's something that I will always remember.
One of my favorite memories is being in the wrong class at least 3 times when I was a freshman. So that first week of school, I would be in class, realize I was in the wrong class, and then have to get up and leave. And it was a math class actually where I actually stayed for a little while because the teacher sounded kind of interesting. But just being in the wrong class and realizing that and having to get up and leave, and then seeing like 4 or 5 other people leave when the teacher announces the class has always been just something that I thought was really interesting and fun about freshman year when I first started.
My favorite thing about Mizzou is the campus. It's beautiful. In fact, the campus itself is considered a botanical garden with over 6,000 trees. Great way to spend your lunch break.
My favorite thing about Mizzou are the people. I think the people that I met during my time here as a graduate student and as an employee have just been amazing. And while not everyone you meet is going to be a great person, I think generally speaking, the people here at Mizzou are really awesome and amazing people.
My favorite thing about Mizzou is Tap Day. For those of you who don't know what Tap Day is, it's a very unique MU tradition. It happens every spring semester, and it's a day that our students that have been initiated into secret societies are revealed to all of campus. So it's a very cool event.
Probably my favorite thing about Mizzou is just the interaction that we have with our students. We get to see them right away when they attend summer welcome, as a freshman, all the way through graduation. And just building that relationship, I think, is so important and definitely my favorite part of the college, the campus experience.
My favorite thing about Mizzou is the tradition here on campus. We're the oldest public institution west of the Mississippi, and so we have traditions, rituals, and events that date back to the early 1800s.
My favorite thing about Mizzou is just the beautiful campus and how easy it is to get from one place to the next. You can get pretty much anywhere in about 10 minutes. But not only is the campus beautiful, but you can see the traditions and the pride both students, faculty, and staff have because the traditions have been built for many, many years. And just seeing that pride students have about Mizzou is just wonderful.
I think my favorite thing about Mizzou is just all the students and when everyone's here studying, having fun. I went to Mizzou myself, so I know all the cool things that go on around here. But the football games, the advisors were pretty awesome, and then just everything about Mizzou is great.
My favorite part about being an academic advisor is helping the students. It's very rewarding to me to know that I can be a resource for them.
Students should expect their advisor to be someone that's there to help them, there to listen to their problems and their questions, someone who's going to take the time to get to know them, but as equally we want you to take the time to get to know us so we can help you out on an individualized basis as opposed to just kind of helping you in general.
They should expect me to be prepared, and I would hope the rest of the advisors in the office would say the same thing, and be able to give them every possible tool for success while they are here at Mizzou as a student.
The students should expect from their academic advisor a friendly face and someone that is going to be accessible. So if you need to make an appointment, if you're going to email your advisor, that someone's going to get back to you in a timely fashion. But you're also going to expect the advisor to make sure you're held accountable. So if you say you're going to do something, we're going to make sure that you've done that and that you followed through. Because it's a partnership between the student and the advisor. It's just not the advisor telling you what classes to take. It's really all about making sure that you're on track to graduate and that you play an active role in that.
I think students should expect their advisor to be accessible, to educate them on the academic processes, and to be an all-around advocate for their professional development.
Students should expect their advisor to be knowledgeable, friendly, and approachable. I hope my students see me as someone who will listen to their questions, their concerns, provide them with accurate information, and offer support when they need it. I will not have the answer to every question, but I should be able to refer a student to the person who does.
Best place to eat in town is Flat Branch, or Shakespeare's, or Harpo. There's about 20 different places, but Flat Branch is the best. Although if you're on campus, go to Rounds. It's a pretty good dining hall.
I think that the best place to eat in town, there's a lot of great local establishments here in Columbia, so why not take advantage of them? But I'm a big dessert fan, so I think Sparky's Ice Cream downtown is one of my favorite places. They have all sorts of different flavors, and they're always wacky flavors, and so one that comes to mind is the Twinkie ice cream, and it's really good, so if you have an opportunity, I would head on down to Sparky's downtown and give that a try.
Best place to eat. I would say Murray's. It's a really good place to take a date. It's a great date location, but it's actually on a cheap budget.
CC's is a steak place. It's kind of expensive, but if you want to impress someone with a really great steak dinner and an awesome salad, that is the best place to eat in town, personally speaking.
First of all, I would say that it is absolutely impossible to narrow it down to just one place, so I'm going to give you my top two. My favorite place on campus to eat is Ingredient. They have great salads, custom burgers, sweet potato fries, cheesecake, and Diet Dr. Pepper, which is a definite plus for me. My favorite place to eat off campus is Mackenzie's. It's a great steak and seafood restaurant. It is a little pricey, so it might be more enjoyable if your parents are picking up the bill.
You know, my favorite place to eat in town, it's someplace I don't know a lot of students know about, especially early on. It's called D. Rose. It's down in kind of the southwest part of town, back behind a Walgreens. But the owner of it's a former Mizzou football player. It's got Mizzou, all over the building and all over the restaurant. And they've just got good food. They've got good burgers. They've got good barbecue there. They do some steaks in the evening. It's just a really, really neat atmosphere, really good restaurant. I think it's kind of one of the little secrets here in Columbia that a lot of students really don't know about.
Summer welcome is important to me because it's the first chance to meet the advisees and really kind of get a sense of first impressions and what the advisee-advisor relationship is going to be like.
Number one means I get off at 4 o'clock instead of 5 o'clock, but I also get to meet the advisees I'm going to be working with for the next 4 or 5 years.
Summer welcome is important to me because the students are kind of the number one priority. And so it gives the advisors a great opportunity to get to know the students and kind of build that relationship from day one. So when students have questions or concerns, that they have someone to talk to right here on campus.
One of my favorite things about Summer Welcome is meeting the new students. It's definitely a chance for all the students to come on campus, get to know their academic advisor, and so that's one thing that makes it important.
I think summer welcome is important because for the most part it's the first opportunity we get as advisors to meet with our incoming class of freshmen and transfer students. The afternoon advising session is invaluable to making that first impression, and hopefully students will like what they see.
This is your first time to give Mizzou its first impression of you. So be great, start a new phase of life, and look for people to help you find your success here on campus.
Summer welcome is important to me as an advisor because I feel like it just sets the tone for everybody their freshman year, what the next 4 years or 5 years is going to be like for them. It just sets the tone for the rest of the student's career, gets them excited to be here on campus, and they're all like, very excited to be here, and I think that's why summer welcome is so important.
Since I will be missing most of summer welcome due to the arrival of baby crows, I guess I'll tell you what I will miss most. I will miss the excitement that incoming freshmen bring to campus, and I will miss sharing my love for Mizzou with my new advisees.